Hello Hello，有声音吗？为什么显示出问题？Per 为什么是 person tortoise？等一下，我看一下。调一下聊天室。OK，正常。Good。哦，新说 V 午安，叶青霜反说 V 午安，大家午安啊！好早这样子，一开大家就在。星野挥手，午安午安，请跟他早安。叶青霜反应有声音，OK，非常 good。看一下，我们待会是要看台积电的法说会。法说会主要是跟投资人说明说他们公司的财务状况如何，以及对未来的预期。然后法人他们也会向公司去询问一些问题，那他们也会回答，这样子，就是他们可能还觉得有哪些疑虑，想要厘清一下，因为大的数字可能没有办法看那么细。然后我们待会会一起看，这样子。先看一下画面好了没？Vivi 移动一下，范围太大了，大，放小一点，可以这样，看现在能播了吗？哦，看起来可以了。然后我们影片里面的免责声明应该说影片的免责声明，直播免责声明在影片说明部分有，可以稍微看一下。大意就是以台积电公司为准，然后我们跟台积电是没有任何关系的。OK 好，然后再来就是以上都不是投资建议，投资理财请要自己做好研究，这样子。那这个过程中你们听到有人很好奇的或者是想问的，其实都可以讲一下。这样声音是看一下 BGM 好像有点干扰，把 BGM 关掉。今天看的是台积电 Q3 的财报 Earnings Conference。那法人问的问题以及台积电的回应，应该也蛮值得关注的。不过那个会是等台积电他们讲完之后，报完之后问问题的环节的时候。 好，刚忘开麦。所以我觉得他们这4个音乐很不错 ，BGM 部分。因为忘记上次财报有没有。又被关到麦克风。即将开始。这样呢？这样呢？好一些吗？哎呦，哦，开始了。
大家午安，我是台积电法人关系处的苏志凯，欢迎您参加台积公司2025年第3季的法人说明会。由于本法说会是向全球投资人同时连线转播，所以我们会全程使用英文，请您见谅。Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to TSMC's third quarter 2025 earnings conference call. This is Ch.微思, TSMC's Director of Investor Relations, and your host for today. TSMC is hosting our earnings conference call via live audio webcast through the company's website at www.tsmc.com, where you can also download the earnings release materials. If you are joining us through the conference call, your dial-in lines are in listen-only mode. The format for today's event will be as follows. First, TSMC's Senior Vice President and CFO, Mr. Wendell Huang, will summarize our operations in the third quarter 2025, followed by our guidance for the fourth quarter 2025. Afterwards, Mr. Huang and TSMC's Chairman and CEO, Dr. C.C. Wei, will jointly provide the company's key messages. Then we will open the line for Q&A. As usual, I would like to remind everybody that today's discussions may contain forward-looking statements that are subject to significant risks and uncertainties, which could cause actual results to differ materially from those contained in the forward-looking statements. Please refer to the safe harbor notice that appears in our press release. And now, I would like to turn the call over to TSMC's CFO, Mr. Wendell Huang, for the summary of operations and the current quarter guidance.
Thank you, Jeff. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My presentation will start with financial highlights for the third quarter 2025. After that, I will provide the guidance for the fourth quarter 2025. Third quarter revenue increased 6% sequentially in NT, as our business was supported by strong demand for our leading-edge process technologies. In US dollar terms, revenue increased 10.1% sequentially to $33.1 billion, slightly ahead of our third quarter guidance. Gross margin increased 0.9 percentage points sequentially to 59.5%, primarily due to cost improvement efforts and a higher capacity utilization rate, favorable foreign exchange rate, and dilution. Accordingly, operating margin increased 1.0 percentage points sequentially to 50.6%. Overall, our third quarter EPS was 17.44 NT, up 39% year over year, and ROE was 37.8%. Now, let's move on to revenue by technology. 3-nanometer process technology contributed 23% of wafer revenue in the third quarter, while 5-nanometer and 7-nanometer accounted for 37% and 14% respectively. Advanced technologies, defined as 7-nanometer and below, accounted for 74% of wafer revenue. Moving on to revenue contribution by platform. HPC remained flat quarter over quarter to account for 57% of our third quarter revenue. Smartphone increased 19% to account for 30%. IoT increased 20% to account for 5%. Automotive increased 18% to account for 5%. And DCE decreased 20% to account for 1%. Moving on to the balance sheet. We ended the third quarter with cash and marketable securities of 2.8 trillion NT, or $90 billion. On the liability side, current liability decreased by 101 billion NT quarter over quarter, mainly due to the decrease of 112 billion NT in accrued liabilities and others, as we paid out 2025 provisional tax of 136 billion NT. In terms of financial ratios, accounts receivable turnover days increased 2 days to 25 days. Days of inventory decreased 2 days to 74 days due to strong shipment in N3 and N5. Regarding cash flow and CAPEX, during the third quarter, we generated about 427 billion NT in cash from operations, spent 287 billion in CAPEX, and distributed 117 billion for fourth quarter 24 cash dividend. Overall, our cash balance increased 106 billion NT to 2.5 trillion at the end of the quarter. In US dollar terms, our third quarter capital expenditures totaled 9.7 billion. I have finished my financial summary. Now let's turn to our current quarter guidance. Based on the current business outlook, we expect our fourth quarter revenue to be between $32.2 and $33.4 billion, which represents a 1% sequential decrease or a 22% year-over-year increase at the midpoint. Based on the exchange rate assumption of $1 to 30.6 NT, gross margin is expected to be between 59 and 61%, operating margin between 49 and 51%. This concludes my financial presentation. Now, let me turn to our key messages. I will start by talking about our third quarter 25 and fourth quarter 25 profitability. Compared to second quarter, our third quarter gross margin increased by 90 basis points sequentially to 59.5%, primarily due to cost improvement efforts and a higher overall capacity utilization rate, partially offset by margin dilution from our overseas fabs and an unfavorable foreign exchange rate. Compared to our third quarter guidance, our actual gross margin exceeded the high end of the range provided 3 months ago by 200 basis points, mainly as the actual third quarter exchange rate was $1 to 29.91 NT, compared to our guidance of $1 to 29 NT. In addition, we also delivered better than expected cost improvement efforts. We have just guided our fourth quarter gross margin to increase by 50 basis points to 60% at the midpoint, primarily driven by a more favorable foreign exchange rate, partially offset by continued dilution from our overseas fabs. While the cost of overseas fabs remain higher, thanks to the company's overall larger scale, we now expect the gross margin dilution from the ramp-up of our overseas fabs to be closer to 2% in the second half of 2025. For the full year 2025, we now expect it to be between 1 to 2% as compared to 2 to 3% previously. Looking ahead, gross margin dilution from the ramp-up of our overseas fabs in the next several years to be 2 to 3% in the early stages and widen to 3 to 4% in the latter stages. We will leverage our increasing size in Arizona and work on our operations to improve the cost structure. We will also continue to work closely with our customers and suppliers to manage the impact. Overall, with our fundamental competitive advantages of manufacturing technology leadership and large-scale production base, we expect TSMC to be the most efficient and cost-effective manufacturer in every region that we operate. Now, let me make some comments on our 2025 CAPEX. As the structural AI-related demand continues to be very strong, we continue to invest to support our customers' growth. We are narrowing the range of our 2025 CAPEX to be between $40 and $42 billion as compared to $38 to $42 billion previously. About 70% of the capital budget will be allocated for advanced process technologies. About 10 to 20% will be spent for specialty technologies, and about 10 to 20% will be spent for advanced packaging, testing, mask making, and others. At TSMC, a higher level of capital expenditures is always correlated with higher growth opportunities in the following years. Even as we invest for the future growth with this higher level of CAPEX spending in 2025, we remain committed to delivering profitable growth to our shareholders. We also remain committed to a sustainable and steadily increasing cash dividend per share on both an annual and quarterly basis. Now, let me turn the microphone over to CC.
Thank you, Wendell. Good afternoon, everyone. First, let me start with our near-term demand outlook. We concluded our third quarter with revenue of $33.1 billion, slightly above our guidance in US dollar terms, mainly due to the strong demand for our leading-edge process technologies. Moving into fourth quarter 2025, we expect our business to be supported by continuous strong demand for our leading-edge process technologies. We continue to observe robust AI-related demand throughout 2025, while non-AI end market segments have bottomed out and are seeing a mild recovery. Supported by our strong technology differentiation and broad customer base, we now expect our full year 2025 revenue to increase by close to mid-30% year-over-year in US dollar terms. While we have not observed any change in our customers' behavior so far, we understand there are uncertainties and risks from the potential impact of tariff policies, especially in consumer-related and price-sensitive end market segments. As such, we will remain mindful of the potential impact and be prudent in our business planning going into 2026, while continuing to invest for the future mega trend. Amidst the uncertainty, we will also continue to focus on the fundamentals of our business, that is, technology leadership, manufacturing excellence, and customer trust, to further strengthen our competitive position. Next, let me talk about the AI demand outlook and TSMC's capacity planning process disciplines. Recent developments in AI market continue to be very positive. The explosive growth in token volume demonstrates increasing consumer AI model adoption, which means more and more computation is needed, leading to more leading-edge silicon demand. Companies such as TSMC, we are leveraging AI internally to drive greater productivity and efficiency to create more value. As such, enterprise AI is another source of demand. In addition, we continue to observe the rising emergence of sovereign AI. We are also happy to see continuous strong outlook from our customers. In addition, we directly receive very strong signals from our customers' customers, requesting the As the world's most reliable and effective capacity provider, we will continue to work closely with our customers to invest in leading-edge specialty and advanced packaging technologies to support their growth. We will also remain disciplined and thorough in our capacity planning approach to ensure we deliver profitable growth for our shareholders. Now let me talk about TSMC's global manufacturing footprint update. All our overseas decisions are based on our customers' need, as they value some geographic flexibility and a necessary level of government support. This is also to maximize the value for our shareholders. With a strong collaboration and support from our leading U.S. customers and the U.S. federal, state, and city governments, we continue to speed up our capacity expansion in Arizona. We are making tangible progress and executing well to our plan. In addition, we are preparing to upgrade our technologies faster to N2 and more advanced process technologies in Arizona, given the strong AI-related demand from our customers. Furthermore, we are close to securing a second large piece of land nearby to support our current expansion plans and provide more flexibility in response to the very strong multi-year AI-related demand. Our plan will enable TSMC to scale up to an independent gigafab cluster in Arizona to support the needs of our leading-edge customers in smartphone, AI, and HPC applications. Next, in Japan, thanks to the strong support from the Japan Central, Prefectural, and local government, our first specialty fab in Kumamoto has already started volume production in late 2024 with very good yield. The construction of our second fab has begun, and the ramp schedule will be based on our customers' need and market conditions. In Europe, we have received strong commitment from European Commission and the German federal, state, and city governments. Construction of our specialty fab in Dresden, Germany has also started, and we are progressing smoothly with our plans. The ramp schedule will be based on our customers' need and market conditions. In Taiwan, with support from the Taiwan government, we are preparing for multiple phases of 2nm fab in both Hsinchu and Kaohsiung science parks. We will continue to invest in leading-edge and advanced packaging facilities in Taiwan. By expanding in Taiwan, TSMC can continue to be the trusted technology and capacity provider of the global logic IC industry for years to come. Finally, let me talk about our N2 and A16 status. Our 2nm and A16 technologies lead the industry in addressing insatiable demand for energy-efficient computing, and almost all innovators are working with TSMC. N2 is well on track for volume production later this quarter. With good yield, we expect a faster ramp in 2026, fueled by both smartphone and HPC AI applications. With our strategy of continuous enhancement, we also introduced N2P as an extension of our N2 family. N2P features further performance and power benefits on top of N2, and volume production is scheduled for second half 26. We also introduced A16 featuring our best-in-class super power rail, or SPR. A16 is best suited for specific HPC product with complex signal routes and dense power delivery networks. Volume production is on track for second half 26. We believe N2, N2P,
来了
N16, and its derivatives will propel our N2 family to be another large and long-lasting node for TSMC. This concludes our key message, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, CC. This concludes our prepared statements. Before we begin the Q&A session, I would like to remind everybody to please limit your questions to 2 at a time.
超短的，超短的，这次法说会超短，
To ask their questions.
上次长很多。
Should you wish to raise your question in Chinese, I will translate it to English before our management answers your question. For those of you on the call, if you would like to ask a question, please press the star, then 1 on the telephone keypad now. If at any time you'd like to remove yourself from the questioning queue,
现在是问问题的环节。
Now let's begin the Q&A session. Operator, can we please proceed with the first caller on the line? Thank you.
Yes. First one, Goku Hariharan, JP Morgan. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thanks. Good afternoon, CC, Will, and Jeff. Great result again. So on the AI front, CC, I think you have met with pretty much everybody who is driving the Gen AI revolution over the last couple of months. And as you said, everybody seems to be a lot more positive. I think we gave a guidance of mid-40s data center AI growth CAGR earlier this year until 2029. Anything that you see which should kind of change that number? Definitely feels like the growth today seems to be much stronger. And related to that, you did talk about the very detailed capacity expansion planning that TSMC does. In past technology cycles, TSMC capex has gone up significantly to prepare for the next upgrade or next leading edge node. But in this cycle, TSMC revenues have grown 50% from the previous peak in 22. Capex has only grown about 10%. So how should we think about the capex over the next couple of years? I know that you're not giving numerical guidance yet, but just wanted to understand, like, are we looking at much higher capex in the next couple of years, given all these conversations you've had? And I had a follow-up after that. Thank you.
Okay, so Gokul, first question, sorry Gokul, let me summarize for everyone's benefit. So again, he wants to know firstly related to the AI related demand, that TSMC works with many, if not everyone who is doing AI, and many of the customers seem to be even more positive today. So I guess he would like to ask CC sort of what are we seeing or hearing from our customers? And then we had previously said that the next 5 years from 2024 to 29, we expect AI accelerator to grow at a mid-40s CAGR. Is there any update to this? I think this is the first part, then I'll get to the second part on CAPEX.
Wow, that's a long question, isn't it? But Goku, the AI demand actually continue to be very strong. Is a more stronger than today's situation. We have talked to customer, and then we talk to customers a customer. So the CAGR we previously we announced is about the mid-40s, but it is still it's a little bit better than that. We will update you probably in beginning of next year. So we have more clear picture. Today, the number are insane.
And then the second part of Gokul's question related to CAPEX, he notes that in the past, when TSMC sees opportunities for higher growth, past cycles or past instances, we would step up the CAPEX significantly to prepare to drive the future growth. But he notes this cycle, actually, though while CAPEX is increasing, the revenue is increasing even faster. So his question really, I think, how do we see this playing out over the next few years, both in terms of the CAPEX spend and the growth relative to the revenue growth?
Okay, Goku, every year we spend the CAPEX based on the business opportunity in the following few years. as long as we believe there are business opportunities, we will not hesitate to invest. And if we do our job right, the growth of our business, of our revenue, should outpace the growth of the CAPEX. And that's what we have been delivering in the past few years. Now, going forward, assuming we're still doing a very good job, then we will continue to see that happening again. So, a company of our size, the CAPEX number, it's unlikely to suddenly drop significantly in any given year. Now, when we continue to invest and our growth is outpacing CAPEX growth, then you see the growth like what we have done in the past few years.
Understood. And I know that it is unlikely to drop, but it is also likely to grow quite a bit given what CC mentioned in terms of every customer asking you and every customer requesting you for capacity addition, right?
Yeah, as I said, a higher level of CAPEX is always going to be correlated with a higher growth opportunity. So as CC said, next year looks to be a healthy year, and we are confident on the mega trend that we'll continue to invest.
Okay, go.
Got it.
Yeah.
Maybe
question.
one more
Sure.
follow-up question from me. CC, I think last year also you gave us an indication of how much CoWoS capacity you would be building. I think you talked about 2x of doubling the CoWoS capacity. It clearly feels like even that is not enough. Could you give us some idea about how much capacity would you be building next year, just to get some idea about what you are seeing in terms of AI demand, and also just to get some understanding of TSMC's data center AI exposure. I think last year we talked about mid-teens revenues. Where do we end up this year? Do we end up close to like 30% of revenues coming from AI?
Okay, so Gokul, your second question, really, he wants to understand, can we provide any detail or colors on the CoWoS capacity plan for 2026 in terms of year-on-year increase, and also in terms of our definition of AI accelerator revenue, the narrow definition, how much will it contribute for 2025 revenue? Is it 30%?
Well, Gokul, this is C.C. again. Talking about the CoWoS capacity, all I can say is continue the 3 months ago, we are working very hard to narrow the gap between the demand and supply. We are still working to increase the capacity in 2026. The real number, we probably update you next year. Today, all I want to say about the AI, everything related, like front-end and back-end capacity, is very tight. We are working very hard to make sure that the gap will be narrow, but all I can say is we are working very hard.
Okay, thank you, Gokul. I think we need to move on in the interest of time. So, operator, can we move to the next participant, please?
Yes. Next one, Charlie Chen, Morgan Stanley. Go ahead, please.
Thanks for taking my question. And again, congratulations for very strong results, CC, Wendell, and Jeff. Strong into next year. But one of your major customers just said that more so is dead. I think his point is that by doing maybe a system level, innovation in the thermal, etc., can boost up more kind of performers. So just a kind of dumb question: how do we reconcile your very, very strong leading-edge demand and that customer continue to migrate to your most advanced nodes, and also you continue to reflect the value, whereas the customer continue to think that more so is that? Can we get some clarification from TSMC?
All right, so Charlie's question is very specific, although he wants us to comment on a customer saying Moore's Law is dead, but how do we reconcile this with a very strong leading edge demand into 2026 and also with system level innovations?
Okay, Charlie, this is Ch.Wei. Yeah, one of my customer, very important customer, say Moore's Law is dead, but what he meant is it's not only rely on the chip technology anymore. Now we have to focus on the whole systems of performance. So he want to emphasize the whole systems of performance rather than just talking about the Moore's Law, which is not enough to meet his requirement. So again, we work very closely with his people and to design our technology both in front end and back end, and also in all the packagings to meet his requirement. That's all I can say.
Okay, thank you, CC.
Thanks, CC.
Do you have a second question, Charlie?
Yes, I do. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, so anyway, I will interpret that as so-called Moore's Law 2.0 that your co-COO, Mr. Cliff Ho, also kind of shared during the SEMICON Taiwan. But anyway, thanks, CC, for your commentary. My second question is actually a follow-up from last quarter's same question. Back then, I consulted you about the China AI GPU demand, right? Whether you can seize the market opportunity. Because China CSP, they're also extending their AI infrastructure very rapidly. But given the recent kind of back and forth between US and China, whether China can really impose this NVIDIA GPU, would that kind of discount your potential long-term growth of the AI CAGR? Is that something that TSMC would worry about?
Okay, so Charlie's second question is related around AI demand and specific to China with the sort of the export control and restriction. His question is, does that impact our ability to address the market opportunity, and will this impact our AI CAGR growth if we are not allowed to fully serve China?
Well, yeah, I think there will be both sides, meaning restriction from the US, but also China government's kind of discouragement to procure a US chip. Sorry for interruption.
Well, Charlie, to speak the truth, I have a confidence on my customers, both in graphic or in ASIC. They are all perform very well. And so if the China market is not available, but I still think the AI's growth will be very dramatic and, as I said, very positive. And I have confidence that our customers' performance, and they will continue to grow, and we will support them.
Thank you.
So even with limited opportunity from China for the time being, you are still confident that a 40% CAGR or even higher can be achieved in coming years?
You are right.
Okay, great. Thanks, gentlemen.
Yep, thank you, Charlie. Operator, can we move on to the next participant, please?
Yes, next one, Sunny Lin, UBS. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Congrats on the very strong growth margin. So my first question is, how should we think about 2026? I understand we should get better color maybe into January, but just want to get some direction ending going to 2026. Impact from 2nm ramp for 2026.
Okay, so Sunny's first question is regarding gross margin. She would like to know directionally, how do we see the gross margin for next year, 2026? in terms of certain puts and takes, and also if Wendell's able to comment specifically. Sunny, sorry if I heard you right on the N2 dilution impact, correct?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
Okay, that's her first question.
Okay, Sunny. Yeah, it's too early to talk about 2026. But you already mentioned about the N2 dilution, and as all the new node, when they just come out, the N2 will have dilution in our gross margin in 2026. But at the same time, the N3 dilution is gradually coming down, and we expect the N3 to catch up to the corporate average sometimes in 2026. The other factors includes like overseas fabs dilution, which will continue, and which we said that it will be about 2 to 3% dilution in the early stage of the next several years. That will also be there. And also, we all saw the dramatic foreign exchange rate movement in the earlier part of this year. There's no control. We don't know where that will be. But every percentage move of dollar against NT will affect our gross margin by 40 basis points. So that just gives you some rough idea.
Okay, thank you.
Alex, sorry, if I may, a very quick follow-up. And so on 2 nanometer, would the typical 2 to 3% dilution by new node for the first 7 to 8 quarters of mass production being a good reference for 2 nanometer as well for 2026?
Okay, so Sunny, quick follow-up. She wants to know for the 2 nanometer dilution, if we're able to provide any detail, and can she still think about it in terms of 7 to 8 quarters or 6 to 8 quarters dilution to reach the to reach the corporate average?
Yeah, Sunny, let me share with you. N2 structural profitability is better than N3, okay? Now, secondly, it's less meaningful nowadays to talk about how long it will take for a new node to reach the corporate average in terms of profitability. And that's because the corporate profitability, the corporate gross margin moves, and generally it has been moving upwards. So less meaningful to talk about that, okay?
Got it. No problem. That's very helpful. My second question is maybe for CC. Thanks a lot for sharing with us the details on how you think about the capacity expansions and planning. And so my question is now Cloud AI is ramping a lot faster than the prior opportunities like smartphones and PCs. Yes, I think the demand for Cloud AI is also maybe harder to forecast. So just want to maybe get a bit more color from you that now versus the prior rounds of capacity expansions, what is TSMC doing differently versus before, and how do you ensure that while you are ramping up the capacities more quickly, while still having a good risk control? Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sunny. So Sunny's second question is regarding capacity planning and expansion. In a capital-intensive business, she notes this is very important, but in the past, smartphone and PC mega trends, today it's AI and cloud AI. She's wondering, does that make this planning process more difficult to forecast? And what are we doing differently, or how do we forecast this to make sure that we are investing appropriately?
Sunny, indeed, right now, because of, I believe we are just in the early stage of the AI application. So very hard to make a right forecast at this moment. What do we do differently? There's a big difference because right now we pay a lot of attention to our customers. We talk to and then discuss with them and look at their applications be it in the search engine, in social media's application, and see how they view the AI application to those functions. And then we make a judgment about what the AI going to grow. And so this is what the different as compared with before. We only talk to our customers and have an internal study. This is different. Did I answer your question?
Got it. Thank you very much, CC. Yeah. And looking forward to the CAPEX Sky in January. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Sunny. Operator, can we move on to the next participant, please?
Next one, Bruce Lu, Goldman Sachs. Go ahead, please.
Hello, thank you for taking my question. I think Jensen talked about like 3 to 4 trillion, AI infrastructure opportunity by 2030, right? This compared to like 600 billion CapEx recent for this year implies for about 40% CAGR. This is similar to TSMC guidance for the AI growth, right? But for me, first of all, what I want to know is what's the TSMC's view for the AI infrastructure growth for the next 5 years, and what's TSMC's forecast for the token growth rate in the next few years? TSMC used to provide like semi-industry growth, foundry growth, and how much TSMC can outperform the industry, right? Given the context that can we assume like TSMC AI-related revenue can track or will track with the CapEx growth of AI or the major cloud service provider, or should we expect an even higher growth rate for TSMC, considering you're potentially getting more value out of it?
Okay, let me try to summarize your question, Bruce. He notes that one of our customers has highlighted a 3 to 4 trillion infrastructure opportunity over the next few years, compared to 600 billion current capex, implying a 40-something% CAGR or growth rate, which is similar to ours. Bruce's question is he wants to know what is TSMC's forecast or view for AI infrastructure growth. He would also like to know what is TSMC's forecast or view for the token growth, and then what is TSMC's AI-related revenue growth. Can it track that of the cloud service providers? And his question is, should it be even higher? Shouldn't it be even higher, given the value that we capture? That's actually several questions, but is that correct, Bruce?
That's right. Thank you.
Well, Bruce, essentially just want to know that how accurate that we can predict that AI's demand. We give you a number, roughly is 40, in the mid-40s is a CAGR. Not including all the infrastructures built up and also align with our major customers as forecast or their view. But more than that, I think if we are talking about the tokens, the number of tokens increase is exponential. And I believe that almost every 3 months it will be exponentially increased. And that's why we are still very comfortable that the demand on leading edge semiconductor is real. And as I continue to say that we look at all the demand and look at our capacity expansion, TSMC need to work very hard to narrow the gap. That's what we are doing right now. Exact number that we probably will share with you in next year, so that when we have a very better, clear picture.
Thank you.
I think I just have a quick follow-up.
Okay.
I'll use that as my second question anyway. I think the question is that the token growth seems to be substantially higher than the AI-related revenue guidance from TSMC, right? So the gap is actually enlarging if you compound in the outer years, right? That's why, that's the differences between the what we see for the current TSMC outlook and the potential token consumptions, right? So the gap is continue to see it enlarging. How do we solve this, and do we really see that as a major issue? So.
Okay, so Bruce's second question, which is a follow-on from his first, is that the token growth is growing at a much higher rate or exponential, and this wants to know, sorry, Bruce, basically what's the implication to TSMC, or how do we see this? Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay, Bruce, you are right. You are right. The tokens and the number of tokens increase exponentially is much higher than TSMC's CAGR as we forecasted. But let me tell you that first, our technology continue to improve, and so our customer moving from one node to the next node, so that they can handle much more tokens number in their basic fundamental calculation. So that's one thing. We progress very well from one node to the other node, and our customer working with TSMC to continuously to improve their performance. And that's why when we say that we have about a 45 CAGR, but then the token number are exponentially increased because of our customer and TSMC's technology combined that can handle much more or much efficient than before. Did I answer your question?
I see. So you believe your node migration plus your customer design change can fulfill or can meet the exponential growth for the token consumption?
Exactly.
Is that the conclusion?
Yes.
I understand. Okay.
Okay,
quick
thank you. Sorry, Bruce, that was your second question. Operator,
Okay,
we need to move on. Thank you, Bruce.
Yes. Next one, Lauren Chen, Citi. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for taking my questions. Appreciate CT you sharing your view on TSMC strategy on the AI capacity planning. I think along with the very strong advanced node demand, I believe that advanced packaging like CoWoS is also one of the focus for your AI clients they are now looking for. I recall that TSMC previously also planned to expand advanced packaging in Arizona. So can you give us updates here? And also, I mean, for the time being, the very stretched demands at the moment. So will TSMC will work more closely with your OSAT partner to fulfill the strong demand at the same time? That's my first question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Laura. So her first question is on capacity planning. We have talked earlier on the call about the planning for leading nodes. She wants to understand also on the CoWoS capacity, and specifically, I guess, advanced packaging in Arizona, and how do we work with our OSAT partners?
Okay. We have announced our plan to build 2 advanced packaging fab in Arizona and to support our customers. But at the same time, actually, right now we are working with the one OSAT, a big company and our good partner, and they are going to build their fab in Arizona, and we are working with them because they already breaking ground, and the schedule is earlier than TSMC's 2 advanced packaging fab, and we are working with them. And our main purpose is to support our customer, and so we can marry in the U.S.
Laura, do you have a
Sure,
second
thank
question?
You.
Yeah.
Yes, certainly. I mean, obviously, we see that the advanced packaging is quite strong. And also, at the same time, we are also seeing that the migration is also happening for N2 and N3. So just wondering that from the revenue growth perspective, I know it's still early to predict next year based on your guidance. But I'm just wondering if it will be more driven by the ASP increase because of the technology migration. TSMC will be able to sell in your value, or more that will be driven by the capacity or volume growth on both N2 ramp up and also, CC, you mentioned some of the mild cyclical recovery. So that may also drive some of the volume growth into next year. So just wondering, if you look at the growth outlook, that would be more driven by the technology upgrade, ASP increase, or also more like a volume? That's my second question. Thank you.
Okay, so Laura's, again, second question is looking at 2026. She would like to understand what will be the key drivers of the growth. Is it more from the technology mix migration, things like
newly added capacity?
Sorry, Laura is saying that next year, will we continue? Sorry, Laura, if I understand correctly, will we need to add new capacity? Will we continue to do conversion? What will we do to support the very strong demand we see at leading edge next year?
Yes, thank you.
Well, let me answer that question. We continue to optimize the N5, N3 capacity to support our customer. For the new building for the N3 capacity to expand, we put the new building for the N2 technology. That's today's plan.
Okay.
So, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Very clear. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Laura. Operator, in the interest of time, we'll take the questions from the last two participants, please. Thank you.
Yes. Next one, Krish Sankar, TD Cowen. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for taking my question. My first one is, CC, about 10 years ago, back in the smartphone days, TSM would talk about the revenue opportunity for TSM per phone. So I was wondering, in today's world, can you talk about how much 1 gigawatt of AI data center capacity could translate in terms of wafer demand or revenue for TSMC? And then I had a follow-up.
Okay, so Krish's first question, he notes in the past, in the smartphone mega trend, we talked about the content per phone opportunity for TSMC. So now with AI, is there a way to frame or quantify 1 gigawatt of data center capacity? What is the revenue opportunity for TSMC?
We recently, as I said, the AI's demand continue to increase, and then my customers say that 1 gigawatt, they need invest about 50 billion. How much of TSMC's wafer inside? We are not ready to share with you yet because of it different from different approaches. Okay. But
no worries. And then a quick follow-up.
Yeah, excuse me. I just want to say that right now it's not only one chip. Actually, it's many chips together to form a system. Right?
Got it. Very helpful for that. And then a quick follow-up. Obviously you folks forecast long-term trends and then build capacity towards that. I'm kind of curious, when you look at the AI demand over the next several years, from a TSMC angle, does it matter whether that demand is coming through a GPU or an ASIC? Does it have an impact on your revenue or gross margin mix?
Okay, thank you, Krish. So his second question is, again, with our business outlook. Again, we forecast the long-term trends. We plan our capacity, as CC said, in a thorough and disciplined manner. His question is, what are the implications, for example, of, I believe you said GPU versus ASIC in terms of the AI market? do we have a preference, or what is there a difference for TSMC? Is that correct, Krish?
That's right. The impact to revenue and gross margin, whether it's a GPU or an ASIC.
Right. Okay. So.
Yeah. Well, Chris, no matter it's a GPU or it's an ASIC, it's all using our leading edge technologies. And from our perspective, we are working with our customer, and we all know that they are going to grow strongly in the next several years. So no differentiation in front of TSMC. We support all kinds of types.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Operator, can we take...
thank you.
Thank you, Krish. So we'll take the question from the final participant, please.
Yes, last one of the line, Macquarie. Go ahead, please.
Hi, CG. Hi from Macquarie. So my question is about competition. So CGU defined the Foundry 2.0 market, and I wonder what's the strategic initiative the TSMC undertaking to further strengthening your competitive landscape, and also in this broader ecosystem. So some context, I got the question from the U.S. investor as your clients announced they invest in the Intel. Thank you.
Okay, so Arthur's question is around competition. In the Foundry 2.0 landscape, what strategic initiatives, what things are TSMC focusing on to further strengthen our competitive advantage? I think the last part, Arthur, you're asking in the environment where one of our competitors in the U.S., how do we focus on the competition? Is that correct?
Yes. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, let me answer that one. When we introduce Foundry 2.0, we set the purpose that, as I said, one of my customers said that the system performance is very important in these days, not only a single chip. And also, let me share with you that our advanced packaging revenue is approaching close to 10%, and is significant in our revenue, and it's important for our customer. So that's why we introduced Foundry 2.0 to categorize this Foundry business. Not as usual. Previously, we only look at the front-end portion. Now it's the whole thing, the front-end, the back-end, and also important for our customer. That's why we introduced 2.0. Talking about our competition in the U.S., well, that competitor is happen to be our customer, very good customer. So, in fact, we are working with them for their most advanced product. Other than that, I don't want to make any more comment.
Yeah, my second question is very quick on the end demand. So, recall, CCU, you last time mentioned that we should also monitor and worry about the pre-built, especially in the consumer electronics. And then this quarter, our number suggests that there's a QoQ 19% growth in the smartphone. So my question is, do you still worry about the pre-built? Thank you.
Okay, so Arthur's second question is on smartphone. Are we concerned about pre-build or sort of, I guess, pulling pre-build from customers in that regard?
No, we don't worry about the pre-build because of when you have a pre-build, you have an inventory. in these days, the inventory already go to the very seasonal level and very healthy, so no pre-build.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, CC. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So this concludes our Q&A conference. Please be advised that the replay of the conference will be accessible within 30 minutes from now. The transcript will become available 24 hours from now, and both are going to be available through TSMC's website at www.tsmc.com. So thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you all continue to stay well, and we hope you will join us again next quarter in early 2026. Thank you and have a good day.
”结束了，切回去。先跟康特说一下课，感谢。稍等一下哦。整体比我预期短蛮多的，没事。听到 OK。刚刚在仔细听，没怎么讲话，看一下。看起来，比较讶异的是这次蛮短的，就是这次法说非常短，一下就结束了，跟上次比。然后看起来好消息还是居多啦，不确定性还是有，但他们觉得还可以。然后同时 AI 需求蛮强的。多数还是原本就已经知道，像其实 那客户说 Moore's Law is dead 嘛，就是说摩尔定律已死，是因为近来半导体制程上的一些瓶颈。那其实因为新制程它也遇到一些瓶颈了，所以现在其实先进封装的重要性是提升的。那其实台积电在这块也是领先者，那包含像是现在的显学 CoWoS。之前就有提到说他们的产能是供不应求，那目前依然是供不应求，听起来是他们已经很努力在扩产了，但还是不够。然后刚刚也有人想问2026年部分，但看起来是太早，他们还没办法回答。然后这个我觉得蛮有趣的，就是他们说以前 TSMC 主要是跟他们的客户谈。就是台积电主要是跟他们客户谈，就是下单去做那些晶片厂商，来去了解需求。但因为现在是云端 AI 的年代，所以光这样子其实是不够的。就是如果你只是去听，比如像这些资料中心啊，这些建设 AI 运算能力的客户们的需求，其实是不够的。主要是因为他们建制这些建立这些算力的量能，那实际上购买这些 AI 服务，购买这些 token 啊，购买这些各式各样，比如说 AI 绘图各式各样的服务，或 agent 各式各样的 AI 服务的公司又是另外一批公司，所以那这个需求预测就变得很困难。所以他们现在也会跟客户的客户谈，就是不外乎就是那些云端运算资源的客户。所以他们认为说，他们现在对 AI 需求的预测是更准确的。然后他们自己估计，那个 CAGR 年复合成长率是在 mid-40s， 就大概45上下，45% 上下，其实算非常非常非常高的。然后刚才也有人问说 token 成长率的问题，那这个 token 成长率的问题讲的其实就是大语言模型的部分。因为大语言模型它，比如说像大家最熟悉大语言模型，像 Ch.Gemini、Grok 这些嘛。那这些模型，它们不论是他们读取文字啊，或输出文字，其实都是透过 token 的形式。那之前姑且科普台的时候应该有讲过，但如果大家没有印象的话，那简单讲一下，就是说，他们去吃这些文字啊，或者是他们吐出来文字的时候，他们不是像我们一样是用单词在弄的，而是透过所谓 token。那每个模型它的 token 都会不太一样，但大上就是从大量的文本，然后去把 token 生出来。就是比如说，像我记得有那种 token visualizer， 之前我是不是有给大家看过？有点忘掉了。好，没关系，我可以现在给你看。把 VV 变小，懂？这个之前有给你们看过，我不要。简单来说，比如说我们把我们的频道今天的 disclaimer 放进来哈，再拿回视频。把我们的免责声明放进去这边来看，这样。那你看到的每个亮起来，它就是一个 token。那这边有910个字元嘛，但其实语言模型他们读的是 token。那这边GPT 3.5 跟 GPT 4它是用同一个 tokenizer， 那其他的模型就会不一样。应该说不一定要不一样，就是看它想怎样。你看到说它这边写， 像 TSMC 它没有独立的 token 嘛，它就是 T 一个 token，SM 一个 token，C 一个 token。那其实对，你看这个哦，然后这个看起来是这个工具显示不出来，我大概就是繁体字。好，没问题。对，然后这个是 Llama 是 Meta 他们推的语言模型。那它的 token 来着看起来是这样。你看它这边，我们前面这边 TSMC 是 T 一个 token 嘛，然后 SM 一个 token， 然后 C 一个 token。那 Llama 这边它就是 T 一个 token，S 一个 token，MC 一个 token。对，所以它其实就没有一定是怎么切，但大概就是会，应该是不是？它就是会把文字切出来，切成模型能理解的样子。Welcome to the viewers。那其实，所以也就是说，你现在看到很多那种 AI 客服啊，他们背后都是调用这些语言模型、大语言模型 （large language models）。那他们要去调用这些模型的时候呢，他们就要去付费嘛。他们付费通常就是用 token 在算的，就是比如说每多少个 token 多少钱这样子。这个模型在这样子的条件下，然后呢，每多少 token 收多少钱。那目前 token 的使用量是成长非常快，几乎是指数性成长。那就有人提出问题说，那这个 token 成长率是远大于 TSMC 的 AI 成长率吗？ AI 成长率其实 TSMC 估的也蛮高的 ，mid 40s 的 CAGR 算非常高。然后他们的回答是，他们认为说，就是客户啊，还有 TSMC 的技术加在一起是可以处理掉这个问题的。那客户就会包含说，像是比如说 NVIDIA 啊之类的最知名的 NVIDIA 啊、AMD 这些。估计没意外，听起来越听下来觉得还挺好的，这次财报蛮好的，所以之前这礼拜有买的，明天应该会蛮开心。今天已经有适度反应了，但因为那个我们收盘，台股收盘是1点半嘛，然后1点半到3点是盘后嘛，那个。所以就是其实就是盘中的人是没有这个讯息的，所以明天应该还可以再涨，没意外的话，台积电跟大盘应该都会涨。但是台积电占大盘的比重很重嘛，所以台积电会涨那台积电会大涨的话，就让大盘就是会涨。所以这个对已经有买的人来说应该是好消息。其他的我觉得大多就是该怎么说，就是不能说是老调重弹吧，但我觉得也是之前本来就知道的事情。像很多都是延续上一季的法说了，上一季法说讲的，比如说像是方矩2.0的策略啊，然后 CoWoS 需求强劲啊这些问题，然后有些则是我觉得可能是他们到底知不知道现在的先进的晶片，现在最先进晶片的重点在哪里吧？不管是 HPC 或者是智慧型手机，然后可以看到它有那个圆饼图吧，就是其实 HPC 高性能运算，比如说像超级电脑、资料中心这类的需求，在跟智慧型手机需求其实占了几乎就是算是2个最大的需求，算是台积电现在非常非常重要的客户，也是成长的动力。然后，但其实在这些地方，尤其是 HPC，目前有 因为前面提到嘛 ，CoWoS 的产能是不够的。那像是 NVIDIA 最先进的那种机器学习的 GPU， 像是它的现在出到多少啊 ？GB 200，Grace 比较快。对，它的那些 AI 晶片啊，其实也是都需要 CoWoS， 都需要先进封装的。CoWoS 先进封装很多东西啊，然后 CoWoS 是目前显学啊，还有下一代的，还有下代的，还有 CoWoS 的各种衍生跟变形都是同时并存的。然后目前正在用的是 CoWoS。产能看起来是扩产的速度还是不够快，因为客户需求太强。目前能用到 CoWoS 的基本上都是 AI 伺服器的晶片，就 AI 的真的拿来做 AI， 不是消费级的卡。那他们就是会用 CoWoS 啊，然后用 HBM 高频宽记忆体，那就是直接把记忆体做在晶片的上面，这样，运算的晶片上。然后在后面有人问的问题，我觉得蛮好笑的，就是他们问到那个竞争的问题，就是有讲到，因为 Intel 啦，就是台积电现在的一个关注点就是 Arizona 的厂房，凤凰城那边。然后就是提到说，Intel 跟它的竞争问题，那他们回答我觉得蛮有趣的，就是他们有说有限度的透露说 ，Intel 他们现在就是最先进的产品有在跟台积电合作，但他也只能说这么多，他不能说更多。但我觉得是蛮耐人寻味的讲法，然后同时也是有点秀肌肉吧，就是对，他在跟我们竞争，但他最先进的产品还是在我们这边下单的感觉。然后 CoWoS 先进封装产能扩增的部分 ，CoWoS 在美国之前他们是说是2厂，听起来他们好像也不排斥美国本土的供应商，听起来，但具体就没有讲更细。然后他们也有提到说，这其实都是大家已经，我觉得可能是那些搞金融不是那么清楚，但其实对于资讯这一块的人已经还蛮有共识的点，就是那个系统的效能啊，其实远大于单一个晶片的效能重要性。就是现在先进封装成为显学的这个年代，其实这个已经算是共识。然后他们的先进封装的 revenue 也已经逼近10%，算是挺好的。那这个其实也是在台积电的 Foundry 2.0 的策略里面。就以前他们只做晶圆代工嘛，然后封装什么的是交给别人。那他们 Foundry 2.0 之后呢，他就把他业务扩展，就是包含像封装测试啊，然后其他的都包含在内，封装测试、光照制作啊，这些都包含在内。那一是他要继续的要保持它的领先啦，然后二就是我认为说就是避免是如果他只做代工的话，市占率过高的问题，怕被反垄断调查。大家听，不知道这样大家有听懂吗？16 NLP 海外厂在 ramp up， 也是蛮重要的，就是在提升良率的阶段。目前看起来就是海外厂的会拖累他们的 短时间内可能会拖累他们的盈利啦，但是因为他们公司够大，所以好像也还好。听 CC 位讲的，然后看一下比上期预测还好吧，然后成本一直有在优化嘛，那现在汇率他们用汇率$1 34.6台币去算的，刚才的这个数字。小于等于7奈米 AK 先进制程，7奈米、5奈米、3奈米，还有其他小于7奈米的，占晶圆的收入的4%，挺好。OK， 看明天是快乐一天，然后接下来一段时间，台积电会继续往上成长，和 AI 会继续成长的机会是蛮高的，至少台积电法说他们传递这样的讯息，就是他们认为说这是一个 mega trend，这个词也蛮有趣的 ，mega trend 的 trend 是趋势啊 ，mega 就是大嘛，这是一个很大的趋势。像上一波的 mega trend 就是智慧型手机嘛，那这一波就是 AI， 那他们认为是刚开始。那我觉得，台积电认为是刚开始的话，是蛮有那个说服力的，因为他们主要的 AI 革命的那些客户都是他们的客户，然后因为现在很多都是在建置云端资源嘛，然后再贩卖 AI 的 API， 所以这些客户的客户他们也有去了解，所以他们讲这件事情是有说服力的，所以看起来是不止台积电近期来股市应该不止台积电行情会特别好，然后 AI 相关的产业的行情应该都可以持续，算挺好，好消息。然后不过还是跟大家说明一下，就是如同我在频道资讯栏有不是频道资讯影片的资讯栏有写到，就是说这些都不是财务的建议 ，not financial advice。那在进行任何投资决策前，要自行进行充分的研究或咨询专业的理财顾问这样子。就是以上都不代表财务上的建议，免责声明，大家懂。OK， 那如果没问题的话，我们大概再过个几分钟就关台。有问题的话可以提，刚刚有发现我播的中途画面断了几次，但不知道可以发现的时候是不是隔一阵子。热心商贩也表示热心客，感谢送你的信。好，那有什么问题的话，就别下播了。